Hello, everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much.
It's the Frontline Theater. Frontline Theater presents a light, frothy comedy of high living, You Belong to Me, starring Don Amici as Peter Kirk and Mary Astor as Dr. Helen Hunt. And as a special intermission interlude, the music of Charlie Spivak and his orchestra. Welcome once again to Frontline Theater, brought to you fighting men of the United Nations by the Armed Forces Radio Service of the War Department. This is your theater, and every performance in it is presented especially for you, the men fighting with the United Nations on freedom's front line. Our play tonight, You Belong to Me. It all takes place in the happy, careless days when people still went to the mountains for their winter sports. An expert skier comes swooping down the snow-covered slope like this. Then suddenly he spies a pretty girl, takes his eye off the course for a second, and goes like this. Peter Kirk is the young fellow's name, handsome and fabulously rich. The girl is Dr. Helen Hunt. Yes, Helen Hunt, M.D., on vacation from Los Angeles. And so, when Peter regains consciousness...
Doctor. Oh, Doctor, you're swell.
And then?
Doctor, you're wonderful.
And then?
Doctor, you are beautiful. Will you marry me?
Forget it, Peter. The whole idea is fantastic.
Yeah, but Doctor, Helen, you know I love you. I loved you for 3 whole days. I loved you the very first moment we met.
How could you tell? You were unconscious.
I love you and you love me. You know you do.
Maybe you didn't hurt your leg. Maybe it was your head.
You love me, Helen.
Suppose I do. Marriage isn't for women like me. I've dedicated my life to medicine.
Helen, I love
There's
you.
not a moment of my life I can call my own.
Helen, I love you.
I can never be sure that the day is mine, or the night. I can never know when a patient will call.
Helen, I love you.
Did you hear what I said?
Of course I heard. Helen, I love you.
Peter, I'm not sure.
Well, then why don't you stop kissing me? Helen, we can't fight this, love. It's too strong. We'll be married this afternoon, won't we? Oh, darling.
Well, no one can say I didn't try.
Well, Mrs. Dr. Kirk, this is the old homestead, and it's all yours. You like it?
32 rooms, 26 baths. Peter, I'll need a map to get around.
Yeah, well, I told you what Dad and Mother left me. After all, what's money?
I'll let you know when I find out. Remember, we've only been married 3 hours. Is this the part of the house where we'll live?
Yeah, I like this upstairs suite best. We'll live up here, eat up here, and grow old together happily.
Peter, darling, promise me one thing.
All right.
Never let me do what I've dreamed about, like sleeping till noon and having breakfast in bed. Make me get up early and brush my teeth and shower like a good, honest human being. Promise?
Yeah, I promise. Oh, Helen, when I realize that we're together... Oh, darn. Come in.
Mr. Kirk, sir, I've had your luggage taken out of the car and dinner will be brought up in just a moment.
Very good, Moody.
And Mrs. Kirk, your office call.
Thank you.
And Mr. Vandermeer, he seemed quite anxious to reach you.
Oh? Thank you.
Yes, you're quite welcome.
Now, Peter, you were saying...
how did those people get our number?
I wired my office. Darling, weren't you going
Mr. Vandermeer, too?
He got it from the office, probably. Peter, you were showing me the suite.
Yeah, sure. This man who called.
Van? Oh, Van's one of my patients.
Van?
Short for Vandermeer, silly.
Oh. Well, he sounds like a very substantial man. About 60, huh? Maybe 61?
No, he's just a few years older than you.
Oh.
Well, have you forgotten the 40-cent tour?
Oh, no. On that side is the master bedroom, and over there is the guest room, which you can forget I mentioned. Helen, I don't want you to think I'm jealous. It's just that I love you so much.
Oh, I love you, too. When you have your arms around me like this. Oh, darn. Come in.
Pardon, Mrs. Kirk. Dinner is served.
Oh, that was rather good dinner, wasn't it, Helen?
Oh, and most undietetic, in a heavenly sort of way. I've never tasted such lobster thermidor and those tiny biscuits.
Yeah, I guess cookout dinner, so. You know, this is what I've always dreamed about.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner at home. Two of us here alone together. Pardon me, dear.
Certainly.
You know, I'm sorry.
I can fix that. I've got some pills right here in my bag. Here, take these two with a glass of water.
Thanks.
It's a perfectly normal symptom, you know. Emotion and food don't mix. In a roundabout way, you're proving you love me.
Darling.
Wait.
Why?
Now.
Oh, darling. Just to know your mind. Just to know we'll always... Confound it, I told Moody not to call us. Hello. Who? Of course not Moody. Well, say the doctor's out. Say anything. Use your head.
Who is it?
Oh, it's a Mrs. Roberts. Moody can just
No,
tell...
wait. I'll take the phone.
Oh, but darling...
It won't hurt to talk to her. Hello. Yes, Moody, put her on. Hello, Miss Roberts. No, it's quite all right. It is, huh? Really bad. How often? Uh-huh. I will. Don't you move. I'll be over there in 20 minutes.
Why, Helen...
I'm sorry, dear. It's an emergency.
But, darling, to leave now...
Peter, I warned you this would happen. You said you understood thoroughly.
Oh, but not this thoroughly.
Peter, I don't like it either, but I've simply got to go. Want to wish me luck?
Oh, yeah, of course. Good luck, darling.
I'll hurry back.
I'll be waiting.
Peter. Peter, I'm back.
No. I was asleep, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, darling, you know, I miss you so much. I'm so glad... You know, I'm going to tear that phone out by the roots. Hello? Oh, Vandermeer, Just a moment. Helen.
Well, after all, dear, he's a patient.
Oh, I give up here.
Hello? Yes, Van. Oh, don't be silly. Why are you calling so late? Yes.
They call that a conversation,
Oh, you'll live through the night, Van. You can drop in at the office tomorrow. What? Oh, I couldn't now. But I can't say it now. All right, then. He's the most wonderful man in the world. He's wonderful. There, are you satisfied? You ought to be shot. Good night.
Well, is that how a doctor speaks to a patient?
He has a bad throat.
He has a bad throat. Is that why you laughed? Is that why you couldn't talk in front of me, your own husband?
But I had to mumble. It was embarrassing.
Oh, embarrassing?
Oh, all right. I told him you were the finest man I'd ever known and that I was terribly happy.
Well, just the same, Oh, you did, huh? Darling, I'm such a heel.
Well, maybe we'd both feel better if you kissed me.
My wife. My own sweet wife. My... Gosh.
Oh, dear, who can it be now?
If I get my hands on him, he'll need a doctor. Yes.
It's Moody, sir. Is there anything else?
No!
Darling, it's only 6:45. It's silly for you to get up just because I have to.
Well, you know what the preacher said, for better or for worse.
And this is worse.
Oh, definitely. Say, why can't people be sick just after 9 a.m.?
Silly. I'm doing an appendectomy at the hospital this morning.
Oh. Oh, she's in pretty bad shape, huh?
Who?
Well, the lady with the appendix.
It's a man.
A man?
Well, why not? I happen to be a very capable surgeon.
Well, you're also a very attractive woman. And men from the beginning of time have been nothing but scheming, treacherous wolves.
Very well, then. I'm just an animal doctor.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I'm just a jealous fool. Please forgive me.
Well, I shouldn't.
Meaning you will? Come on. Please kiss me.
Oh, when you kiss me like that, it's sabotage. I lose all interest in my work.
You do? You mean that
No, my first duty is to Mr. Bellow's appendix. Goodbye, darling. I'll see you at dinner.
Playing second fiddle to a sick appendix. Not even a healthy one. Well. Yeah, come in. Oh, hello, Moody.
I thought perhaps you'd like some breakfast, sir.
Moody, you know I never breakfast before 10. And what are you doing up so early?
It was the telephone, sir. The hospital called at 6, and Mrs. Kirk's assistant at 6:05.
Oh.
And Mr. Vandermeer at 6:10.
Vandermeer? What did he want?
I never listen in, sir. Possibly an appointment with the doctor.
He already has an appointment.
Really, sir?
May I ask what that means?
Oh, nothing, sir. Nothing at all, sir.
Then in the future, you will oblige me by never ing before noon.
Yes, sir. Mr. Kirk, will you be going back to bed, sir?
Well, I really could do it. No, Moody. No more of that lazy life for me. I'm going to the club and play some golf.
Well, as I live and breathe, if it isn't Pete Kirk.
Oh, hello, Keckle.
Hell, I never expected to see you at the club this early. Getting dressed for a game of golf, I see.
Yeah, they won't let me wear these cleated shoes in the pool.
Say, that's good. Oh, by the way, I want to congratulate you. From what I've heard about your bride, she must be just what the patient ordered.
What did you hear?
Well, Pete, if the boys aren't lying, you better get a bottle of dandruff remover.
Why, what for?
To get that Vandermeer out of your hair. Say, he's been raving about that girl for months. And when that wolf raves, it must be something, because he's been on the trail ever since he could walk.
What kind of a looking fella is he?
Well, say if Flash Gordon was just a little gray at the temples.
Believe me, if that guy was anywhere near my wife, I'd lock her in the closet and swallow the key.
Huh. That type of fella doesn't bother me. I'm not worried.
No, you're not, huh?
No, of course not.
Not a bit, huh?
No, not a bit.
Then tell me, why have you put your pants on backwards?
And that was Act One of You Belong to Me, starring Don Amici and Mary Astor. We'll hear the rollicking second act in a moment. But right now, we've been fortunate in securing Charlie Spivak and his famous orchestra to play for you during the intermission. Fresh from a dazzling engagement at the Hollywood Palladium, Charlie Spivak takes time out to underline the love theme of our play, and we hear his superb arrangement of that superb melody, Schubert's Serenade. Thank you, Charlie Spivak. That was swell. Now the house lights are starting to dim, and the curtains soon will rise, and Act Two of You Belong to Me, starring Don Amici as Peter Kirk and Mary Astor as Dr. Helen Hunt. The madcap plot has taken several hilarious turns thus far, and you're due for more surprises now. Comes the dawn of another day, and I do mean dawn. It's 6:30 a.m. on the following morning, cold and frosty and invigorating. And Peter Kirk, who has never breakfasted before 10 o'clock in his whole life, is seated at the breakfast table. Yes, his eyes heavy-lidded and sleepy. It's none other than Peter Kirk.
Sleepy, darling.
Who, me? No, not at all. Just that my body can't realize I'm up.
I wish I could have slept late, too, but I've got such a busy day ahead of me.
Lots of appointments, huh?
Oh, lots.
Didn't you say Van was coming in today?
I didn't, but he is at 2 o'clock. Why?
Oh, nothing. Pretty nice sort of fella, huh?
Oh, very. Peter, you're not getting...
Who, me? Oh, no, not in your life. Dum, 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 dum. 2 o'clock.
What?
What, did I say something?
You said, at 2 o'clock. Peter, you're acting very strangely this morning.
Oh, nonsense. I'm the happiest man in the world.
Honest, Injun.
Honest, Injun.
Oh, darling, I'm so glad. I have to hurry now, but I'll be thinking of you.
And I'll be thinking of you. Any hour you can name, I'll be thinking of you. 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 2.
Mr. Kirk, sir, will there be anything else?
No, I don't think so, Moody. Oh, do you have the right time?
Yes, sir, I think so, sir. It's exactly 1:30.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
All right, maybe it isn't cricket. Well, I'm not playing cricket. Hello. Mr. Vandermeer in? My name is Jones, Mr. Harold Jones. Yes, that's right. I want to buy some property Mr. Vandermeer owns. Can I see him this afternoon at 2? No, 2 is the only time I have open. Oh, he's tied up. With his doctor. Mm-hmm. He couldn't cancel it, could he? Oh, I see. No, I'll call tomorrow. Goodbye. That's a fine thing, all right. Leaving me home to fret and stew. Treating me like I didn't even count. Just because she's so doggone important. Just because I've got too much money. Well, I'll show her all right. I'll make her sit up and take notice. I'll do something about it. I'll do something radical. I'll go to work. My goodness, what did I say?
Peter?
Oh, Helen, dear.
Oh, darling, it's good to see you. I rushed right home.
No, wait. Look at me.
Well, you look fine.
Of course I do. I have won a battle.
Well, ought I see the other fellow?
Oh, no, not that kind. I mean a battle with myself.
Oh.
You know, I'll be honest, honey. When you left this morning, I was raging inside with jealousy, imagining weird, crazy things about you and Vandermeer.
Oh.
But, you know, I even considered going down to your office and throwing him out bodily.
Oh, Peter.
But I fought a battle with myself, and I won.
You won't be jealous anymore. You won't imagine things.
Never again. I'm a changed man.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear you say that, because I didn't see Van this afternoon.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I'm going to his house.
His house?
He's too ill to come out. It hit him quite suddenly this afternoon. I think it's the flu.
But
I'm going over there right now. I just stopped by to give you a kiss and tell you to hold dinner for me. Bye, darling. I won't be long.
Oh, now it's to his house. And at night. And the moon is out. Maybe I ought to go over there and... No. Nope. I'm a changed man now.
Mr. Kirk, sir.
Huh? Oh, yes, Moody, yeah.
I beg your pardon, sir, but I noticed Mrs. Kirk was leaving again. What about dinner, sir?
Oh, she'll be back by 8. It's just an emergency call to Vandermeer's.
Mr. Vandermeer, sir?
Moody, are you going to start mmming again?
Well, I'm awfully sorry, sir. It was just a surprise.
What surprise?
Well, I saw Mr. Vandermeer's cook at the market today, and she said Mr. Vandermeer was in excellent health.
Oh-ho!
This way, Doctor. Mr. Vandermeer is expecting
Thank
you.
you, Frederick. But why are all the cars outside?
Cars, Doctor?
Yes, and why is it so dark in here? Why don't you turn on the light?
Surprise! All right, turn on the light, somebody. How do you like it, Helen?
Well, Van, all of you... Well, I think you're all wonderful, but my husband...
Well, we couldn't ask you both, or, it wouldn't have been a surprise.
Oh.
I'll have Fredericks call him up now. Fredericks?
Mr. Peter Kirk has just arrived, sir.
Say, Helen, that husband of yours doesn't waste any time.
You're telling me.
Helen,
Peter, darling,
discuss that later. You're coming home with
But
me.
Peter,
wait a
dear...
minute.
And as for the rest of these people and your host, they're just a bunch of dirty tramps. Now come along.
Wait a minute.
Beg pardon, ma'am. Will Mr. Kirk want his breakfast now, do you think?
You might ask him, Moody. He's in the guest room.
The guest room, ma'am?
Yes. Is there a comment you'd like to make?
Nothing, ma'am. Nothing beyond... Excuse me, please. Mr. Kirk, sir. Mr. Kirk.
I imagine you'll have to open the door.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Kirk, would you like to... I say, ma'am.
What is it, Moody? What's wrong?
The bed's not even been slept in, ma'am. Mr. Kirk is gone.
Moody.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Kirk. You're home early, ma'am.
Oh, I've been so distracted these past 3 days. I might just as well not have been at the office. Were there any calls?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Vandermeer
Again?
and Mr. Kirk.
Peter called? Oh, why didn't you phone me?
I was not to tell you till you came home.
Oh, where is he, Moody? What did he say?
You're to meet him tomorrow at Hill's Department Store, counter 7, main floor. Ask for Mr. Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins? I never knew a Jenkins in my life.
Can you tell me how much this tie is?
Yes, it's a pleasure, madam. This tie sells for $5.
$5.
$5 anywhere but here. During our sale, you may have this extraordinary piece of merchandise for $2.39, an imported tie which we absolutely cannot replace in stock.
Well, Peter. Well, of course, it is sort of pretty,
Peter,
but...
darling.
Excuse me, madam. Someone I have one of my charge accounts. I'll be right back. Hello, honey.
Peter Kirk, you're working.
Shh, not so loud. The name is Jenkins.
Oh.
But I am working. $22.50 a week.
Oh, Peter, how wonderful.
Oh, it is wonderful. Work makes you feel a lot more important. Makes you want to better yourself. You know, already I've been complimented by the head of the department.
No.
Yes. And, Helen, about the other night.
Oh, forget it, darling. I've forgotten it.
You have? You mean everything is all right?
Well, you think I want to lose a man with the future you've got? Why, if you can sell a tie, you can sell a piano. And if you can sell a piano, you can sell anything. Besides, I love you, Mr. Jenkins.
Darling.
Say, mister, about this tie, I don't...
Oh,
Peter,
yes.
I'll see you at dinner. Bye, darling.
Bye.
Does that always go with the charge account?
Well, she's a very special customer.
You got lipstick.
Oh, I have? Well, what do you know?
Mr. Jenkins,
What?
Mr. Marshall wants to see you in his office.
Oh, well, the manager? Oh, say, that's great. I'll be right up there when I finish this sale.
I just want you to understand our position, Mr. Kirk. Our employees' club is very strong. Naturally, we can't risk any trouble.
But why should I cause any trouble?
It seems they've discovered who you are, and they feel you shouldn't be working here, taking a job from someone who needs it.
Yeah, but I need it, too. I need it more than anyone.
Oh, come now, Mr. Kirk, with all your millions.
Oh, it isn't the money. It's my self-respect. And my wife. And my... No, what's the use? You're sure there's no hope?
I'm afraid not. I'll have the cashier draw your check.
4 days he's been gone now, Moody. Why does he do a thing like this to us?
Perhaps it was that story in the paper, ma'am, about his losing that job.
Well, what's wrong with that? Anyone can lose a job. It's a whole lot worse to lose a husband.
Possibly you haven't lost him yet, ma'am. I always say...
I'll take it. Hello? Yes, this is Dr. Hunt. My husband? Where? Central Hospital? Of course. Certainly, I'll be right over. Which Which room, nurse? This one, Dr. Hunt. Thank you. Peter.
Hello, honey.
Peter. You mean you're not hurt?
Well, how do I look?
Peter Kirk, I could break your neck. Scaring me to death, pretending to be injured.
Oh, darling, you've just been imagining things. It was my secretary who phoned.
Your secretary?
Sure. How do you like your hospital, Helen?
My hospital?
Well, half yours anyway. I just bought it.
Peter, you must be out of your mind. This place is bankrupt. It takes a fortune to run.
Well, that stuff I've got, I wouldn't call that lettuce. Oh, boy, am I going to be busy.
You?
Well, just on the business end, of course. Boy, will you be busy.
Me?
Oh, you bet your life. You're head of staff.
Peter, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You mean you're putting your money into this hospital knowing you'll get nothing in return?
Oh, what do you mean, nothing? I'll be helping the sick. I'll be making jobs for doctors, nurses.
Interns, too.
Yeah, maybe a lot of other people I don't even know about. You should see all the patients in here.
A lot of kids out there.
Oh, yeah, paralysis, broken bones.
We'll make them all well.
Listen, you're just as excited as I
Oh,
am.
of course. Oh, Peter, darling, I love you so.
Well, gosh, I know. Doctor, would you like to see your first patient now?
Who?
Me. I think that last kiss gave me a temperature.
And so the final curtain falls on another Frontline Theater play, You Belong to Me, starring Don Amici as Peter Kirk and Mary Astor as Dr. Helen Hunt. Next week, another hit play will be presented, and all the weeks following will bring you radio versions of musicals, dramas, comedies, and mystery dramas, all complete with your favorite stars. So keep listening, fellas, and we'll see you next week. This Frontline Theater play was presented especially for you men of the United Nations by the Armed Forces Radio Service.